As night falls upon the city, the dazzling ladies of the social media world step out, radiating charisma and confidence throughout the streets of Liverpool. Met by their very own private concierge, your guests are ushered through the pristine arch of the monumental Royal Liver Building, making their way into the Bertie Suite, where they are engulfed by the utter sophistication and class of the room. The immaculate towering white walls are balanced somewhat by the delicate softness of the blush pink uplight, emphasizing the grand beauty of the elegant space. Guests are lulled into the dimly lit room by the hypnotizing voice of acoustic musician Hannah Wilwood. A small silhouetted figure, framed in the moonlight, cast through the wide windows, highlighting the intimate nature of her soothing music. Just as they arrive, they are welcomed with a tall glass of bubbling champagne, with a pink twist, of course, a mouth-tingling concoction made up of floating sweet raspberries and a dash of French Chambord, for that extra feminine touch. Trays of canapés are served by the smiling catering team, featuring mouth-watering dishes specially curated by the talented duo with over 100 years combined experience, Doherty and Allen. Smoked duck with soft-boiled quail eggs, pressed pork belly with maple and chili jam, salmon fish cake with orange and dill, spinach parmesan and pine nut arancini, sweet baby peppers with basil and cream cheese make up just a few of the many delectable dishes to choose from. Once all your guests have arrived, the acoustic performance comes to a pause, while a brief announcement is made, welcoming the fabulous women to the first of this 3-day event and providing some detail into the scheduling of the days to follow. Ladies are reminded to do what they do best: photograph, blog, and post about the event using hashtag Inspire18. After which, the performance recommences and the night goes on. Miniature desserts are passed around the room whilst the ladies continue to meet and mingle. A crunch of vanilla macaron, dressed with strawberry and basil, and a creamy white chocolate and raspberry mousse. An understated yet striking statement to commence the celebration of yet another successful year in business, whilst marking such an important and significant date for women worldwide. Your guests arrive the next morning and are greeted with a surprise: a total transformation of the Bertie Suite from the previous evening. The morning sun filters through the tall glass windows, bathing the room in natural daylight, ready to host the first of 2 conference days. Upon arrival, guests are each handed a 7-inch Amazon Fire tablet to use during both conference sessions. They are actively encouraged to take notes, post, and photograph throughout the day using the hashtag Inspire18. Arranged is a series of white chairs facing towards a floor-level stage area, where guest speakers deliver engaging speeches and presentations. An aisle divides the row of chairs down the centre, creating an available space for both question and answer sessions and an easily accessible route towards the back of the room, which will function as the serving point for the lunchtime meal. As guests take their seats, they are gently embraced by the projection mapping that cloaks the 4 walls, enveloping the white once again in the signature colours, blush pink and silver. As noon approaches, the rich aroma of dark coffee fills the air, drawing the guests toward the back of the room, where lunch is served. Each guest receives their very own personalised picnic boxed lunch, finished with a miniature floral bouquet for them to keep as a memento, as well as a vial of peppermint essential oil to be used post-lunch slum as an extra pick-me-up. Swaddled in a red-white checkered napkin and presented within are a set of traditional finger sandwiches, salmon and creme fraiche, and Cheshire ham, tomato and mustard mayonnaise. A proper Scotch egg sits proudly alongside a mozzarella, grilled aubergine and red pesto tart, as well as a pot of sweet chilli and coriander dip. To finish, a sweet and crunchy miniature meringue is found, topped high with a mixture of berries and green grapes, providing a feast for both the sweet tooth and savoury palate. A selection of specialist tea and coffee sits on the back table, where guests can help themselves to beverages, including freshly squeezed orange juice and cherry and pomegranate infused waters. After lunch, a printed USB with the Inspire 18 logo is given to each guest member. Guests are encouraged to save the media from their Amazon Fire tablets onto their complimentary USB before the data is formatted ready for the next day's session. Guests are welcome to use the rest of the evening to explore all that Liverpool has to offer. With such a central location, they are in an ideal spot to see the sights, hit the town, or even go and see a theatre performance. It's International Women's Day, and after a second afternoon of conference sessions, the ladies are ready to party. Later that night, guests are invited to return to the Royal Liver Building venue for the big event, the 10th anniversary celebration party. The Bella Ballroom is a title which befits the breathtakingly beautiful room which will host the evening. Partygoers are drawn into the ballroom by the beats of the DJ's playlist, as he live mixes a variety of classic chart hits released over the past 10 years. In the centre of the room sits the anniversary cake in all its glory. Basking in a pink spotlight sits a thinly frosted buttercream naked cake, exposing all 3 sumptuously tiered layers beneath, and adorned with an array of pale pink and white roses, mixed berries, and framed by bright green leaves before being finished with a silver sheen. Large, round, silver and pink textured balloons are filled with confetti and ordain the corners of the room, reaching skywards. Glancing up, silver leaf organza sweeps across the high ceilings and down the walls, accented further by a blush pink uplight, blanketing the ballroom skies in a soft pink cloud. With every glint of pink light, the mesmerizing silver detailing across the white textile dances off the organza, catching the eye of every guest. As guests progress into the space and take their seats, they will notice that the soft pink and white organza draped over the chairs mimic that of the walls and ceiling in a similar fashion. Their noses are instantly filled with floral notes as the botanical centerpieces of white roses and pink peonies waft over the table gently. Surrounding the flowers are a variety of tall and short pillar candles, each flickering in the dimly lit space, creating a romantic ambience whilst adding a rich, creamy scent of vanilla with a touch of shea butter into the mix. Hovering above each table, a nude-coloured lantern hangs, laser cut with intricate swirls, twists and spirals in a downward cup design, bringing the table together and creating a closed feel for an intimate and exclusive atmosphere to each group. With tables and chairs filled, servers approach, removing the goblet fan folded napkins from each glass and placing them on each guest's lap. On cue, a second group of servers appear with platters holding 2 cool and refreshing signature drinks made by the event's personal mixologist. The first, a pretty in pink, sweet sugar rimmed margarita, and the second, a ridiculously good, sharp and tangy rhubarb gin, complete with a rhubarb stalk garnish. After a brief pause, allowing guests to catch up on the weekend's events, the first platter of an indulgent 6-course meal is carried out. Smoked and confit duck with rhubarb puree and a twice-baked smoked salmon souffle complete the appetizers, followed by a roast sweet potato, carrot and coriander soup. Guests are then presented with a choice of crunchy salads, sweet chili and sesame seed crispy beef, or heritage beetroot, topped with crumbled blue cheese and hazelnut dressing. Another pause allows main courses to be brought through from the kitchen. A mouth-watering trio of locally sourced pork served with crushed new potatoes and a uniquely formed deconstructed spring vegetable lattice. To finish, a selection of British and continental cheeses are presented on a wooden board. complete with grapes, celery, homemade berry compote, red onion chutney, sweetbreads and sea-salted crackers, followed by a short glass of rich cherry Grand Marnier on the rocks to wash it all down. Drinks are to be served until the evening meal has been complete, after which guests are welcome to order drinks of their own choice from the rustic bar situated at the back of the room. Later in the evening, guests are invited to show off their moves on the dance floor. A projection of the company's logo makes its way back and forth across the floor in time to the beat of the music. Guests are eagerly invited to a private balcony area, where the high ceilings allow them to witness a spectacular aerial acrobat show by Wired Aerial Theatre Company. Draping down from signature blush pink and silver silks, the acrobats twist and fall delicately through the air above, as at the stroke of midnight, fireworks are cued to launch a scenery to their stunning movements. After the magnificent display has come to an end, guests are given the opportunity to have professional photographs taken with panoramic views of the River Mersey as their backdrop. As feet become sore from all the dancing and eyes become tired from all that they have witnessed, the evening draws to a close. Guests begin to trickle out and are handed a parting gift of a bottle of pink Moet à Chardon to take home and enjoy, and are encouraged to share their photos and videos on social media by hashtagging Inspire18 in order to attract more attention for next year's conference, whilst making a statement to business competitors of how fabulous the event was in comparison to their own. A dazzling end to an international women's experience to remember.